Hello, everyone. News Channel 3 Chief Meteorologist Keith Thompson, tardy this evening. I apologize for that. Like tardy even by my standards, which is way tardy, for another YouTube and Facebook Live weather update. I got 9:28 on the clock on a Wednesday evening. I don't know about you, but I think the big old toothy grin starts coming back on Wednesday because now we're past hump day. And so we're going to get closer to the weekend. So that's always good news. So, and now, another reason for good news, by the way, though we could really use a little bit of rain here. We're starting to get dry again. In fact, we are dry again. But we dodged another severe weather bullet, if you will. You know, we had that slight risk area from the Storm Prediction Center, and a little bit concerning because the meteorologists at the SPC, who were severe weather experts, had even actually placed a portion of West Michigan at sort of an elevated risk, not that it was a high risk, but an elevated risk for tornadoes. And so that was a little concerning. Linda, good evening to you. Thank you so much for being here. So I'm glad that things sort of turned out the way that, I got to tell you, I think the forecast models sort of got this one for the most part right, in the sense that I think, as I mentioned last night, it was an issue of where are these storms going to start firing? And if they start firing west of US 131, which was not likely, but if they did, then we were going to probably see some maybe, or not I'd say probably, we would have had a better chance of seeing severe weather. Instead, those storms really started firing or initiating. I'm talking about the late afternoon ones. And let's say from Lansing to maybe certainly stretching down to Coldwater and then sort of arcing along US 12 to Sturgis and Constantine, White Pigeon, and then down into Indiana. And because of that, it was a little bit more of a concern for Hillsdale County, thinking of you, Alexis, and then also Ryan and Jackson County, and then moving over toward the east side of the state and also down to northwest Ohio. But I just checked in on them, by the way, and they're not, they are sort of dying out pretty rapidly. And I did look at storm reports, by the way, and pretty meager for storm reports. In fact, only about 3 or 4 storm reports. I'm talking about in the Lower Peninsula. I'm talking about central and northern Indiana, central and northern Ohio. Only like 3 or 4 storm reports. So this ended up being certainly more potential. It did not live up to its potential, and I'm okay with that. So what I meant by all of that is to say that now that that's beyond us, now that that's past us, we have some smooth sailing ahead, some good weather. I think you're going to like it. Chris, hello to you in Coopersville. Happy hump day to you too. Mike, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Carly got 3 100s in West Portage in the beautiful day. Beautiful moon out there. A beautiful moon going for sure. Kim, hello to you. I hope that you're doing well. Thanks for the thanks. K&M, my family's doing great. I hope yours is too. Joanne, hello to you as well. This is going to be a shorty. I know I say that all the time. And actually, I'm already 3 minutes in. I haven't even moved the first map yet. But this one's going to be a shorty, and I'll tell you why. There's just not a lot to talk about. There's not a lot to talk about. So let's get right to it. Let's knock it out. There's no threats of impending doom like what we had last night. Not that we had impending doom, but you know what I mean. So here it is. We're off to school on your Thursday morning with just a few clouds, comfy cool. I got to tell you, our dew points, which are still up there just a bit. I think I have them coming up in a graphic in just a minute. And today they were in the mid to upper 60s, so a little bit sticky. We talked about that. Remember we talked about the precipitable water that was going to be going up? Yeah, Craig, we did miss out on the storms for sure. But even in northern Indiana and the southeast part of the lower and northwest Ohio, Fort Wayne, which is always a suspect when we're talking about gathering the suspects for severe weather, it was pretty meager. It was pretty meager. And I'm sure the folks there are like, thank you. We could use that. We could use a little relief. Get this. Talking dew points here. Expected to go down from the mid to upper 60s this afternoon to the mid to upper 50s for the mid 50s tomorrow. So even though our max temp tomorrow will be very close to what we have today, the dew point, though, is going to be down about 10 degrees, maybe even a little bit more than that. And that's why the air is going to feel so different. Let's talk about our precipitable water. Going from a level of around, it's going to be cut in half, let's say, going from, let's say, this morning when it was a little bit sticky to, let's say, tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. So we're trending drier. It's going to take a little while. But the front that is going to be bringing in the lower dew points has already passed through. And by tomorrow morning, I think we're looking at a light northwest wind, and that is a favorably cool and more comfy wind. Joanne, when is the weather? When the weather is beautiful, there's not much to report. That's for sure. So I need to get off of here, right? Thanks for the share, Mike. Appreciate it. Alex, need a storm to knock out power and we'll get Minden soon. Okay. I don't think that's going to work. So as I would tell the students who are begging for a snow day, I'd say, I'd study for that test if I were you. Lily, happy hump day to you too. Linda, you got 0.6 of an inch in Montville. Okay. Got a little bit more there south of I-94. Not shocked by that. Not shocked by that. Jennifer, hello to you. Yeah, you got some this morning. Chris, I was sleeping, I think, when some of those showers this morning. You know, you saw my Facebook post, if you saw it anyway, or my Instagram post, I posted it there too, that Jeff and I hardly ever see each other, except for at parades or something like that when we're both in the parade for Channel 3, right? But we do sometimes see each other when we have severe weather overlap coverage. So today, Jeff was like, look, I'm going to stick around a little bit longer than I normally do until about 2 p.m. And I'm like, I'll come in a little bit earlier than I normally do about 2 p.m. So I posted that up there when we had the the passing of the baton, proverbial baton, the weather baton. And anyway, so we chatted a little bit about that, about what was going on as far as the precipitation is going on and those storms and how it looked like we were going to be missing out on everything. So we really sort of got lucky there. But he was also saying, hey, you know, we did get some showers, a few scattered showers this morning. And I was like, well, I was asleep through that. So I missed that part. Jennifer, hello. Jeanette, hello. A couple of different showers today. Ben, yeah, cool. I'm glad that it went off without a hitch. I don't know about you, but I'm glad that it went off without a hitch. Ron, had to water tonight. No rain there. I'm looking forward to the. I got you, David. Hey, we are in the midst of a dew point drop party right now. Let's get through the bus stop forecast, then we'll talk dew points. All right, off to school at 62 degrees, few clouds, comfy, cool. Heading home, lots of sun, and gorgeous with a high of 80. I don't know why that lightning bolt is going on in the back. I do know why that lightning bolt is showing up back there. It's because I didn't take it off the graphic. That is not supposed to be there. Lots of sun tomorrow, and it will be gorgeous. Gorgeous day tomorrow with a high of 80. And you know what makes it a gorgeous day tomorrow? I mean, today we were up around 80, but the dew point was around 65, 67, 68 degrees. Tomorrow we're going to be around 80, but the dew point tomorrow is expected to be in the neighborhood of 55-ish, 56. That's 10 degrees difference. And that's a huge difference from the air feeling a little muggy and sticky to the air feeling nice and pleasant. And we are in the process of doing that drop right now, David. So I guess really we could say, let's get that dew point drop party underway. Shannon, good evening to you. I did. I had a great day. I hope you did too. Didn't get a lot of rain. Thanks for the report. Sally got to walk in today. That's awesome. Jennifer, leave the windows open tonight. Yeah, I will say I closed mine last night. It was chilly and cold. And I left them closed today. So probably this evening, I'm going to open them back up. We should have the window report. We'll call it the window report. The mudslide in Nepal. I saw that, Joanne. It's all over Twitter for sure. It's just crazy. Horrible. Chris, thank you so much. I appreciate that very much. I appreciate that. Well, and just to let folks know that it's like we do coordinate that kind of stuff. Both Will and Colin, who normally would be in today, were both off today. And so basically it just fell to Jeff and I to make sure that we had coverage. And so we coordinate in a situation like that where we make sure that there's always somebody in the weather office if there's any hint, any sniff that there might be something severe popping up. And at 1 o'clock, 1:30 this afternoon, looked like there could be some severe thunderstorm warnings. So luckily there were not. Looking for the next party? Yeah, next week. You know what, David? We're going to have to already schedule our next dew point drop party. Of course, we have to have the dew points go up before they can come down. And they will be going up next week. I'll have that in the 7-day coming up in just a little bit. Canaan, 10 minutes of rain. Okay. I was probably sleeping. Timmy, BC in the house. Thanks, Dr. Coyote from the Minden metropolitan area. Thanks for being here. Leslie, hello to you. And Ron, foggy in your backyard. Interesting. Okay. K&M, all those windows open. Yeah, We're losing so much daylight. If you were watching me, I'll move past here. Let's get to the dew points. If you were watching, I think this is what day? Today's Wednesday. I think it was Monday, right? My weather trivia question was how many minutes of daylight, I get it. I should have said how much time from sunrise to sunset have we lost since June the 22nd? And the answer Monday, well, it's already up from that, but the answer Monday was 107 minutes. We've lost 107 minutes. So when we look at that South Haven camera, for example, it's dark at 9:30, right? It's dark at 9 o'clock now, or darker, and big change. Dew points, there they are. A low to mid 60s. Now, if you were watching me this evening on News Channel 3, Three Rivers, I think, was at about 68 at 6 o'clock. I remember that because it was getting close to the just gross category. Now it's at 61. But we're going to continue to see those dew points drop. They were in the mid to upper 60s. I'm just going to go with 65 as a ballpark this afternoon. And notice, tomorrow, dropping into the upper 50s, then the mid 50s on Friday. Very comfortable air ahead. But those dew points will be on the rise, as I'll show you in the 7-day coming up. I think it's the next graphic that I have. Next week is going to be awfully sticky, and it's going to be warm too. For those who are already counting out summer, like on the wrestling mat, 1, 2, you know how those professional wrestling things, summer is going to push off fall and say, like, this is still my domain. And it is. Wilson, the moon, beautiful out there. It is this evening. I took a gander at that myself. Gorgeous weather will continue through Saturday. Sunday, it's still going to be nice, but things start to change up on Sunday, and it won't be quite as gorgeous as it's going to be tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. Wilson, hello to you. Paw in the house. Parakeet in your room. I think it's safe to open the rooms. Yeah, well, I don't think it'll be too cold. We're looking at an overnight low around 62. So I don't think that's going to be too cold for the old parakeet there. Hello to the parakeet, by the way. Cynthia, hello to you. Robin, might not see the moon. Mosquitoes and skunks skedaddled back. Those are two things that would get me back in the house too. April, good evening to you. Weather radio. You know what I was going to default to? This is a sign of a boomer. Tell me you're a boomer without telling me you're a boomer. Is I was going to say Radio Shack because that used to be the go-to, and it's like what? I'm pretty sure like Walmart, Meijer, Target, or you can buy them online. Google search. Midland is probably the best known company for making them, Midland. But anything that gets you 4 or 5 stars will work. Good question, Cynthia. Went to Warner's and Paw for a concert. Awesome. Oh, I bet that was a nice tribute too. Melissa, Keith Kitchersman was on. Yeah, that's another place to get them for sure. Remington, salute to our state reporter, political reporter there. Remington, thanks for joining in. When can we see some snow? Oh, you dropped that bomb. November, maybe October, maybe December. Well, I will say an El Nino year, and it looks like this El Nino is going to be pretty potent, maybe the strongest we've seen, maybe in history, recorded history anyway. And I will say for us, I know lots of folks are already out there on social media because, they're click farming, engagement farming. Lots of folks already out with an idea of what winter is going to be like. And fair enough, because it does look like this is not only just going to be an El Nino, but it's going to be a strong El Nino, maybe a very strong El Nino. And with that said, then you can probably sort of already go ahead and extrapolate to what that means for your region of the country. Typically for us, a stronger El Nino, typically, it's not 100% correlation, typically means less snow and a warmer winter with less snow, typically. And it often means that it's going to be more active to our south. I will say, in my opinion, from anecdotally here, from experience, I believe that those stronger El Ninos, I believe, favor heavier snow like in the Ohio Valley and then up the East Coast. Yeah. We'll see what happens, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see places like Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, certainly over to D.C., Philly, New York, Boston, getting more snow than what we get here in West Michigan. That would be an El Nino signature. And south of that area, the southeast, for example, wet and chilly, very wet on the West Coast, Look out for some mudslides coming in there on the West Coast, especially California, Southern California. And the rest of the country, I think it's sort of like, it's sort of up in the air. Remington, that was a long answer to a short question there. So if that does if that does sort of hold true, then I think it would stand to reason that we will get a later start on our measurable snowfall. And Remington, I'm going to say that that's what you meant. Not just any flurry, but I'm talking about measurable, an inch or more of snow. Justin, Sunday's your birthday. Still calling for rain. Yeah, but it's really sketch. I mean, really sketch on Sunday. I got to tell you, I am, I think I got it at 30%, which for me is very low. I'm not confident in the rain. More confident certainly on Monday than on Sunday. So let's see. Kathy, how is the dew point tonight? High is a relative term. It's coming down, and it's going to be in the 50s overnight. The dew point. Yeah. Let's see. And happy birthday there, Justin, for sure. Let's see. Rain, go away. Don't rain on Justin's birthday. I think there's good reason to believe that it won't, but we're still a few days out, obviously. So that'll give us some time to work on that part of the forecast. Leslie, be glad if there's less snow here. I don't know. You better watch out when you say that in this room. There could be some fighting words. Some folks really want it. Would be surprised if they had more snow. Well, I'll tell you why the setup would be favorable in a typical El Nino pattern, strong El Nino, for the Ohio Valley to get more snow, because the way that that's going to set up our dominant pressure zones for the winter, it's going to make for an active midsection of the country, so that areas of low pressure that normally might be traversing the northern plains and coming through the Great Lakes and giving us snow after snow after snow, shot after shot after shot with wind and colder air, is actually going to be a little more to the south. Those areas of low pressure are going to be running more on the Ohio River, for example, and then cutting up the East Coast, which of course would favor those places, like I said, like Indy and Cincy and Columbus and Pittsburgh, and then over toward the East Coast, DC, all the way up to Boston, getting more snow, while we here in West Michigan don't see much. I'll tell you what, I'll probably write that down on a note card, and we'll see if that's what comes to pass. That's the good thing about the weather. You can always turn back and say, like, well, were you right or were you wrong? Let's see. Thanks, Cynthia. You're very kind. I think you might be talking to Remington, though. He's got the voice. Let's see. Yeah, okay, I think you are. There you go. I see now Remington's response. Lily, happy birthday. Oh, you said happy birthday to, now I have to, let me look that up. Whose happy birthday? I know I said it. Justin. Sorry about that, buddy. Stacy, we just need snow for Christmas and then it can go away. If only, right? If only. All right. I know I've spent too long on this radar here. You can sort of see we still have a couple of showers, especially north of I-96. Look, on the satellite picture here, the radar, you can see what's going on. See that big old area of low pressure that's up to the north? You can see that counterclockwise rotation going on there. That's what's at the heart of this. As that continues to move to the east, we're going to see drier air come in here. Not really cooler air, not cooler air, but drier air. And that's going to feel nice for the day tomorrow. So let's get right to your 7-day forecast here. And I think I got some humidity on there tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, golden. Remember what I always say, look at the low temperatures. Look at the low temperatures, at least for this time of year and what we're dealing with. When we're in the upper 50s to around 60, that's some comfy air. Notice the lows start to go back up, 65 Sunday morning, 70 on Monday, Tuesday, and near that on Wednesday. That's humid air. And so that's what we're looking for next week, with a chance for some showers and storms. How about 88 with a dew point of 70, 71? That probably gives us a heat index around 93, 94. So like I said, this idea that summer is done is not correct at all. Not correct, I know, for sure. Hey, oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot, David, you're on the east side of the state. You will not see the snow like you would in Holland. That's for sure, David. Not over on the east side of the state. Pam, thanks for that. Deb, happy Wednesday to you too. Happy Thursday as well. Is that rain on Ypsilanti? Probably so. Let me go back and we'll see. No, it is not. Right now, it doesn't look like it is raining in Ipsy. So there you go. All right, there's that 7-day again. Hey, everybody, take a gander at that, and I'm going to skate on out of here. I said I wasn't going to be on here long, and I violate that every time. 9:48 on the clock, so that means in 12 short minutes, I'll be live on Arc West, Michigan. They're going to be doing a mic check soon, and they'll be mad at me if I don't get up there. So in 12 minutes, I'll be live in the studio on Arc West, Michigan with an update, hour 12 on the Mothership News Channel 3. Hope you can join me in one of those. If not, don't forget, I'm on social media all over it. WWMT's Keith Thompson on Facebook, and then on Twitter or X, Threads, YouTube, and Instagram at Weatherman Keith, all lowercase, all one word. Jeff's all over that too. So is Colin. So is Will. Jeff is here tomorrow morning, 4:30 to 9 a.m. with must-see TV updates. He's going to have the latest on your temperatures too. Don't forget our free weather app. There it is. There's the phone. On your phone or on your pad, your device. It's free. Track all that stuff that we're talking about right there in the palm of your hand. David will be in Davison. Yeah, I am. 15 minutes of Flint. Okay. All right. Yeah, you might even have a few more storms over there going on right now. Linda, toasty next week. That's a good way to put it. It's going to be toasty. Jennifer, thanks for the thanks. Lily, good night to you. And Leslie, I appreciate that. All right, everybody, I'm going to skate on out of here. Like I said, I'll see you soon on the tube. If not, I'll be back tomorrow evening at 5:30, and 6, and we'll do another Facebook Live at 9 o'clock. Thanks so much, everybody. Get some good rest. Let's hit Thursday hard. And if I don't see you tonight on the tube, I'll catch up with you again tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here. Good night.